بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي، ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. صل وسلم على سيدنا مولانا محمد وآله وصحبه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. This is a short essay. We are just going to read it and just spawn some ideas about revolution and its possibility. Somebody sent this article to me. I didn't know about this philosopher before receiving this article, but the purpose is just to think about the issue involved here rather than the ideas of a particular philosopher as such. Sort of a German, not sort of, but suppose the German philosopher of Korean origin. So, why revolution is no longer possible today? Well, this question depends on first assuming that revolution is no longer possible. So, one thing we should know about possibility is that the greatest proof of possibility is actually occurrence of something occurs. So the greatest proof of the occurrence of something is actually the possibility of something is its actual happening, its actual occurrence. So whether revolution is possible or not, the greatest proof of it is if revolutions happen or take place. It's one thing. So the greatest proof of the possibility is actually something happening. So if something happens, then that's actually the proof of its possibility. That's one thing. And the second thing is, if we are talking about if revolution is possible today, something is happening. If something wasn't the case, but then it was the case at some point, then that's possible. Show the possibility that it might not be the case one day. That's another thing. Okay. Third thing is that when we talk about possibility, an impossibility. We can talk about a logical possibility or impossibility. On the other hand, we can talk about historical possibility and impossibility. Now, we are not talking about logical impossibilities. So, maybe 2 plus 2 is 4. This uh, and 2 plus 2 is 5 is a logical impossibility, for example. So, when people are raising the question of whether revolution is possible today, what they are talking about is historical possibility. So, however unimaginable a world different from what exists today may be, just because the mere fact that present was once not a present is itself proof that it is possible that this present won't be our present sometime in the future, for example. Okay. Now, revolutions have actually taken place. Nobody denies that. And once revolutions occurs, it's always the case that the new system makes sure that there won't be any further revolution, because this revolution is the revolution. And once a revolution has occurred, it makes it possible. It tries its utmost to make sure that revolution is no longer possible. People talk about permanent revolution, but that permanent revolution is actually the revival of this revolution or completion of this revolution. But once the revolution has completed, or once we are talking about a revolution has happened, every revolution makes sure that there's no longer any revolution possible. So every revolution is anti-revolution as far as other revolutions are concerned. So when we are talking about today's system, for example, capitalism, it was once a revolutionary system, but now it is our present. The revolution has been successful, so this revolutions, like any other revolution, try to make sure that revolution is no longer possible. And one way to keep this impossibility of revolution um, ingrained in people's mind is the discourse which keeps telling us that revolution is no longer possible. Okay. The final point is today's system, capitalist system, actually claims that it is a unique system, unique in its complexity, unique in its desirability, unique in its power, unique in its permeation, unique in its universal facticity. That even though revolutions have been possible in the past, because of the uniqueness, unique power, and unique effectiveness of this revolution, that once this system has entrenched itself, it is no longer possible to overthrow this system, and no other system is possible. That's called Tina, for example. The end of history, for example, or there is no alternative, for example. And if there is no alternative, there is no revolution possible today. Not because of any logical impossibility, but a factual impossibility, which emanates from the many factors, but the complexity of the system, the effectiveness of the system, power of the system, and the desirability of system. That's why revolution is no longer possible, because we are at the end of history in that sense. So once history has ended in this sense, there won't be any more revolutions, because revolutions occur within history. In a sense, we are living beyond history. So in a sense, history has merged into logic in a way. So these are all different ideas which come to mind when people talk about the fact that revolution is no longer possible. So these are some of the thoughts which come to mind when we talk about why revolution is no longer possible today. And once we have sort of got these conceptual issues out of the way, then in the next session, we can, inshallah, start reading this article. Okay, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi.